Update. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay my boyfriend for the haircut he had given me? I, 21 female, am a university student. My boyfriend, 23, is studying cosmetology and works as a hairdresser. Recently, he insisted that he give me a haircut. My hair has been growing since the pandemic began and was at mid-back length when he made the offer. I was initially reluctant, as I had no plans on getting a haircut. He then offered to give me the cut at half the price offered by his salon. I thought it was a good offer as summer was approaching quick and the price was reasonable too. So I agreed to it. The next day, I went over to his apartment for the haircut. Before he began, I made it clear that I wanted a shoulder-length cut and nothing shorter than that. However, he started cutting my hair way shorter than shoulder length. I asked him to stop, but he continued saying that he knew what he was doing. When he was done, my hair was in an even chin-length bob. I was furious, as I had specifically asked him for a shoulder-length cut. He offered to even the bob out, but I refused and stormed out. I went straight to the salon where a friend of mine worked and asked her to fix my hair. She gave me a pixie. When I returned home, I was pretty devastated. Not only did I have my hair cut way shorter than I asked for, but I also ended up paying a lot more than expected as fees to the salon. I switched on my phone only to see 2 unread messages sent by my boyfriend. He first apologized for the cut he had given me. He followed this up by asking me to pay for the cut. This struck my nerve, as I felt he did not deserve to get paid even a single cent for his horrible job. So I texted him back telling him that I will not be paying for the cut and asked him to just leave me alone for the day. It has been a day since the cut and my boyfriend hasn't messaged me since. I am wondering if I might have been too harsh on my BF. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for not paying my boyfriend for the cut? TLDR, BF offers to cut my hair. Messes up. I refuse to pay him for the cut. And now for the top comments. Here's a comment from Snoobooks007. Not the a-hole. I can't believe he was charging you at all, even before he stuffed it up. Here's another comment from Alada Lurkin. Not the a-hole. He gave you a cut you never wanted and he messed it up, which left you out of pocket to repair it. You've every right to refuse payment for poor workmanship. For your boyfriend to charge you for it was a dick move, but to then double down and ask to be paid is a nailed-on AH move. He owes you. Here's another comment from Clear Detail 9121. Not the a-hole. If he'd do this at his salon, he'd lose his job faster than he could say Bob. You definitely weren't too harsh, and he needs to apologize and realize what he did was so wrong. Another comment from Mango5. Not the a-hole. Just because you're his partner doesn't mean you have to pay for something that he did poorly. Not only did he ignore your wishes when you said you didn't want a haircut, and again when he cut it too short, but this audacity to ask for payment is outstanding. If you were a customer he didn't know, he wouldn't dare ask for payment. He's exploiting your relationship with him. Here's another comment from Wazibitobiko. Not the a-hole. And frankly, it's bizarre. He expected you to pay at all in the first place. Another comment from Yehua 10 Miles. I want to tell you from experience. Leave him. It only gets worse from here. The fact that he's your boyfriend ruined your hair and expects to get paid for it says a whole lot about him. And none of it is good. A good partner would never expect to get paid for doing something for their partner or spouse. You will spend your whole life paying him back for any kindness he bestows on you. I bought you this dress, you owe me. It went from that to him breaking my hand and shoving me down the stairs. I know this is difficult. I've been through this. Find the courage from somewhere. Don't become another domestic violence statistic. A real man does things for his partner because he cares about her, not because he's looking at her as a paycheck. Here's another comment. You're the a-hole. My dad always taught me that you shouldn't ask for favors from friends in the field. This is still their job and they are doing you a service. If anything, my dad actually leaves a higher tip cause 90% of the time he is being undercharged. By taking you as a client, he misses out on the opportunity to take a different client that pays in tips. In the future, you should review the work the person has done to see if it is even what you like. For this scenario, you could have provided pictures. And here's another comment from Pistachio Bees. Not the a-hole. Is he genuinely just that bad at his job, or did he want your hair shorter for his own preferences? Maybe it was honestly just a fuck-up, in which case he should have owned up to it and apologized. Or maybe he's just manipulative and doesn't care about your body autonomy. Either way, he acted like a jerk. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to adopt my dying ex-girlfriend's child? I, 31 male, met my ex-girlfriend 29 on a dating app 7 years ago. She had a son 6 months at the time. She was with multiple guys and ended up pregnant. Still doesn't know who's the bio father. But it wasn't that much of an issue since she seemed like a great person and we had a lot in common. After a few weeks of chatting and talking online, we went on a first date and had a great time. After that, she just started hanging out whenever she could, and shortly after, she introduced me to her son. Few months into our relationship, we moved in together to save money, since both of us were renting at the time. I started helping taking care of her child whenever I could, and we really grew fond of each other. He even started calling me Papa, and we just went along with it since my girlfriend didn't mind. Almost 5 years into our relationship, she told me that she wants to break up because I became boring and not an active person like I used to be. We used to go on hikes and travel around the country on weekends, and that I worked too much. It was a rough time after that, and I had a hard time accepting it. Although not as hard as having to explain a 5-year-old that he'll no longer be seeing his papa. But I managed to get over it after a few months. Found a better job that allowed me to work remotely and had a lot of free time, so I managed to explore few other countries. Few days ago, I got a call from my ex. She said that she's sick and is in the hospital. They removed one of her breasts but recently found a tumor in her other breast and will need to have it removed as well. She's scared that she might die if it doesn't work out and asked me if I would be willing to become her son's legal guardian and adopt him, since she has no one else to ask. I live a different lifestyle now, travel a lot and invest in myself, so I told her that I can't do that. She told me that her son misses me and would love to see me. But I said no again and she started crying and calling me names before cutting the call. I talked to my sister and parents about this, and they told me that it's a fucked up thing to refuse it. After all those years spent with them, I feel like trash now. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to adopt my dying ex-girlfriend's child? Now for the comments. From 1962 Michael, not the a-hole. If my math is right, you broke up about 2 years ago, which is a long time for a young child. Of course, we would remember you, but it's not like you're close at this point. The chances of her dying in the short term are pretty low. Letting her know you are not available allows her to make different plans in the longer term. Here's another comment from Unpopular Kryptonite. Not the a-hole. Don't. The kid doesn't even remember you. It has been 2 years. She can ask one of her more interesting exes to adopt her kid since you were boring. Another comment from Purple Anti-Freeze. Are you kidding me? The child will remember from age 5 to age 7. And another comment. Yeah, seems like these people haven't been around kids. I'm 34 and still remember the names of my first grade best friends and the head teacher from a class. And here's another comment from Christy Cayenne. Everyone's memory is different. Exactly. I have a memory from before I was 2 years old. Nobody told me about a situation that I remember, but I just recently had a conversation with my mom and she confirmed that it is a real memory. I am 50. My aunt remembers almost none of her childhood, but my mom remembers almost everything, including a memory from before she was 3 years old. However, whether the kid remembers the OP or not, his ex chose to remove him from the kid's life, and it isn't fair to him or the kid to try and drag him back in just because she is scared and the OP is convenient. What's to stop her from taking the kid away again when she is better? For both his own and the boy's emotional health, the OP needs to say no. OP is not the a-hole.